everybody, it's Drew with Southern Yankee Innovations, and it's early September. Temperatures are coming down into the mid-70s in Virginia, and I decided we're going to go ahead and knock out our overseed of our front yard. I took down a bunch of oak trees this spring, and now that's just a muddy mess. So we got two types of grass seed. We were going to put 2 things of Jonathan Green down, and then 3 bags of it's just a Central Virginia blend. And then we'll fertilize it and roll it all in.
So the first thing we do is we'll start with running the tiller through everything. But this is the overall area that we're going to reseed. Some of it needs to be tilled, some of it can just be overseeded. Just kind of depends on which spot we're in. I decided to do it. It's early September. We got a little bit of rain last night, so it helped keep some of the dust down, and then the forecast is showing rain for the next 3 nights, and then cooler temperatures into the mid-70s through the next week. This is a 4-foot tiller behind a 34 horsepower tractor. So what we'll do is we'll go over it once, and then we'll turn around and we'll come back over it. That'll take all those clumps and break them down even finer. Just kind of helps the seed start to sprout better. You can see here how much finer the dirt clumps are from where it was tilled twice. The problem with this Virginia red clay is it's very hard and it's also very rocky. So at the very end, after I get everything all seeded, I will start to go through and pull rocks over the next few weeks as the grass starts to grow in. This here is the second pass. You can see if you hit like a large rock how it just makes the tiller jump. This is the first time I've used that tiller. It seemed to work pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use fertilizer. I put down 25-5-10, and I just have a little Agrifat pull behind for the garden tractor. I do have a broadcast spreader, but I'm breaking up this seeding into 2 sections. I'm just going to do the front yard, let that start to sprout, and then I'll work on the backyard later. I didn't want to drop the tiller to put the large broadcast spreader on, so I'm just going to use the mower. manufacturer gives the recommended spreading settings. I have the AgroFab broadcast spreader, so I used it at a 4, and then it tells you to water it in afterwards. The hardest part about doing this with the mower is that you can't reach the lever to open up the valve for the spreader. So you can see, like in the bottom left corner, where it made a pretty big mess. Also, when you set like your stopper, so this said recommended at a 4, I had it set at a 4, and that bottom left corner, when I went to push it, it went to like a 6, so it came out a little faster. If you notice that, it's almost easier just to spread faster than it is to try and stop and redo it. Next we moved on to grass seed. So I did 2 bags of the Black Beauty Jonathan Green for the front yard, and then the Central Virginia blend is a local co-op that makes that, and I'll use all that in the backyard. Spreading the grass seed, I had to have the spreader set at 5. If I had it any less, it would plug and it wouldn't spread properly. At 5 it comes out pretty quick, so you have to move pretty good to keep it from spreading too thick. Unfortunately, I didn't get a whole lot of video of me spreading it or rolling it because my camera overheated at that time. So once you get done spreading the grass seed, I have a 4-foot roller I put behind the mower, and I'll just pack everything down in. It just kind of helps keep everything in place in case the rain washes it out. In one of my earlier videos I made sprinklers, so now I'm going to go ahead and get them all set up. So you just need a couple end caps. I had a bunch of this 1/2-inch PEX left over from when I did the radiant floor in the basement, so I bought pinch type garden hose connectors for it. So all you have to do is slide them in, take a pair of channel locks and pinch them, and then it creates your crimp fitting on it. It was very simple to do. I don't know if it's necessarily cheaper than going out and buying all the garden hose, but I just had all this laying around because I wanted full lengths in my radiant instead of having breaks underneath the concrete. So I figured why not just get it and use it finally. All I did is put a male and female end on each end. I kept my spacing about 40 feet in between the sprinkler heads, and then I would stagger one row to the next by 20 feet, so that way it would keep all the in-between places covered pretty well. So I use the valve to individually apply each sprinkler head. I'm on a well, so I don't have a whole lot of water pressure to run all 12 sprinkler heads at once. But then here you can see once I get it all finished up how I have it all spaced out. There are a couple spots that are just getting overseeded that I didn't put the sprinkler heads on. I wanted to make sure I really got the spots that are tilled. Like I said, we're supposed to get rain in the forecast.